channel. In case you are just joining us, what do? We give solutions to psychological issues in the society. We'll be talking around self-perception series, and today I'm going to be emphasizing on the importance of self-perception to an individual, most especially to you watching this right now. I'm going to tell you a brief story about a man called Bujuko. Bujuko is actually a monk in the temple. He lives there, he works there. And as you know, monks actually have disciples around them, people that learn from them, see their attitude to see how they can evolve in life. They've noticed something about their discipler. He most times mentions his name. Probably is in the midst of a negativity, is in the midst of a distraction or something. The next thing he just do is like he just mentioned his name, Bujuko. And the disciples were are always surprised. They are like, why is it that this man does not cease to mention his name in the midst of circumstances, situations, and negativity? Eventually, Bujuko got sick at a particular point in time, and for 2 weeks on the sick bed, he didn't mention his name, he didn't say anything. And the disciples got worried that why is it that our disciple is not mentioning his name? What's even the essence of him mentioning his name most times? And they went to meet him on that sick bed. They asked him, what's going on? You've not been mentioning your name for the past 2 weeks. Is that why you are sick? And blah blah like that. Eventually, he gave them a response. He said, the reason I call Bujuko most of the time is because that is the man I want people to see. I want people to see the man who is not moved by negativity, the man who is not moved by anxiety, the man who is not moved by stories and backgrounds of the past, the man who is not moved by how will this come to pass, how will people see me or what will people see me about. He's not really moved by those things. He wants them to see the man he chose himself to be. So at that moment, his disciple knew that the reason their disciple kept calling Bujuko was because he has developed an inner self-perception for himself. Number one importance of having self-perception is it helps you reduce negative judgment about yourself. Many a times, if you don't have a definite this definition of yourself, you will be judged and you will judge yourself lesser. In fact, you won't even see anything good about yourself. Instead, the only thing you'll be seeing around yourself is things that are bad and things that are not resonated to how pure you should be and your self-worth. We go to number two. Number two is having a good self-perception about yourself help you regulate your mood. Most of the times, because people have a negative perception about themselves, in fact, some ladies will say, I'm too fat, I'm too big, I'm this. Some men will say, I don't have job yet, I'm restless, I'm this, I am not a person, I don't look like somebody who is becoming something in future. You know, people just bring different kind of negative vibes about themselves, which can actually have effect on their mood. It can have effect on their dopamine, how they see themselves, how they should be happy, how they should relate with everything around them. And that exactly will have effect on their interaction. I go to number three. Number three around it is that it have effect on their behavior. One of the things I want to establish as a psychotherapist is making people understand that what you perceive about yourself is determined by how you also relate with others around you. The way you see yourself, your mindset about yourself will also determine how others will relate with you, and that is where behavior comes in. When you begin to make allow others treat you less, or you begin to allow others treat you as if you are nobody or you are nothing or probably you are a non-entity, that is because you don't have a good self-perception about yourself, and that can actually influence your behavior in acting in certain ways that can make you feel, oh gosh, I am nobody, I am this, I am that. Another of it on the last act talking about self-perception, the importance of self-perception on an individual is that it has effect on people's opinion about you. Many a times I said to people that come to me that you are not what people are say about you, you are how you respond to it. And how you respond to it is based on your level of self-perception about yourself, your level of mindset about yourself. So when you have a positive mindset about yourself, people tend to treat you like that. People tend to treat you as you are, not as what they thought of you or what they expect of you. And that's why most of the times false prophecy happens, but false prophecy become a true prophecy when you don't have a self-perception about yourself. People can say different things about you, people can talk about you, but the first question you should ask yourself is that who you are? If you can answer the question of self-perception, then you will be able to respond to people's opinion in the right way. And the summary of everything around Bujuko's story is based on these four things I just brought about. Bujuko has a healthy judgment about himself. He looked at himself and he saw himself to be someone who has judged himself to live above anxiety, above whatsoever things that he might be surrounded by. He has good mood. He was able to regulate his mood by professing out his name, by professing out what he sees himself to be. He has an identity, he has a definition that he has attached to his name. So whenever he calls his name, he calls it based on the identity and definition he has attached to himself. And that reflected in his behavior. The disciples of Bujuko always saw Bujuko to be a gentle, calm, easygoing person. And that also reflected in his response to how his disciples thought about him. So they began to see him the way he sees himself. They began to encourage him the way he encouraged himself. And that will make me summarize this importance by saying that the way we see ourselves determines the way we feel about ourselves. And the way we feel about ourselves determines our level of interaction with everybody around us. I hope you enjoyed today's series on self perception. I'm sure you will start developing more wherever you are. Try as much as possible to build a healthy self perception for yourself. You are not what you are surrounded by, you are what you call yourself to be. Don't forget to give us thumbs up. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button. And also, don't forget to invite your friends. In case you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us through our Gmail that will be shown on the screen. You can also reach out to us through our social media channel. I love you guys. I see you in the next